the Young and the Restless spoilers. Diane Jenkins stood at the window of her office at Chabot, her mind swirling with thoughts of revenge and destruction. She had long known that her time at Chabot was coming to an end. The Abbott family had grown wary of her, and her once solid relationship with Jack was crumbling under the weight of lies and betrayal. But Diane wasn't one to walk away quietly. If she was going down, she was going to take everyone with her, especially Jack. For years, there had been whispers and rumors, the kind that never truly died. Whispers that Kyle, the son Diane had claimed was Jack's, might not be his at all. It was a secret Diane had guarded fiercely, a card she held close to her chest, waiting for the perfect moment to play it. And now, with her position at Chabot slipping away and her influence fading, the moment had finally come. She was ready to unleash a truth that would destroy Jack Abbott's life forever. In her hand, Diane held the results of a DNA test, a test that proved the unthinkable. Kyle was not Jack's son. He had never been. Diane had known the truth all along, but she had kept it buried for years, manipulating Jack into believing that Kyle was his. In reality, Kyle's father was Victor Newman, the man who had been Jack's nemesis for decades. The man who had always seemed to stand between Jack and true success. Now, the knowledge that Victor was Kyle's father would tear the Abbott family apart and leave Jack devastated. It hadn't been easy for Diane to keep such a dark secret. Years ago, she and Victor had shared a brief, secretive affair, a moment of weakness that had left her pregnant. Victor had never known about the pregnancy, and Diane had chosen not to tell him. She saw an opportunity to secure a future with Jack, a man who had always wanted a family. She had let him believe that Kyle was his son, and for a time, it had worked. But now, that lie was about to unravel in the most spectacular way possible. Jack was sitting in his office when Diane stormed in, her face a mask of icy determination. She didn't hesitate, didn't offer any pleasantries. She simply placed the envelope on his desk and stared at him, waiting for the moment that would shatter his world. "What is this?" Jack asked, his voice filled with suspicion as he picked up the envelope. He glanced at Diane, but her expression gave nothing away. "Open it," Diane said flatly, her eyes never leaving his. Jack tore open the envelope, pulling out the document inside. His eyes scanned the words quickly, but as the realization sank in, his face drained of color. His hands shook as he held the DNA results in front of him, unable to comprehend what he was seeing. "Diane, what the hell is this?" Jack's voice was barely above a whisper, filled with shock and disbelief. "It's the truth, Jack," Diane replied, her voice cold and unfeeling. "Kyle is not your son. He never was." Jack stumbled back, the paper falling from his hands as if it burned him. He looked at Diane, his mind racing, trying to understand how this could be possible. How could Kyle not be his? He had raised Kyle, loved him like his own. And now, in one instant, that bond was being ripped away. "You're lying," Jack spat, his voice rising in anger. "This can't be true." "Oh, it's true," Diane said, her lips curling into a cruel smile. "I had an affair with Victor, years ago. Kyle is his son, not yours. And now, you're going to have to live with that." Jack was reeling. The ground beneath him felt like it was slipping away. His mind flashed back to all the moments he had shared with Kyle, the pride, the love, the bond they had forged. All of it felt like a cruel joke now, a lie that had been carefully constructed by the woman standing before him. And Victor, of all people, the man who had tormented him for years, the man who had stolen countless opportunities from him, was now revealed as Kyle's father. It was too much. You've destroyed everything," Jack whispered, his voice breaking. "You've destroyed our family." Diane shrugged, her expression devoid of remorse. "Our family? There was never a family, Jack. It was all built on lies. And now, it's time for you to face the truth." Jack's mind raced as he tried to grasp the enormity of what Diane had done. Not only had she betrayed him, but she had also dragged Kyle into the middle of this nightmare. Kyle, who had grown up believing Jack was his father, would now have to grapple with the truth that his real father was Victor Newman, a man who would never accept him. Victor, with his ruthless ambition and cold heart, had no interest in acknowledging Kyle as his son. The thought of it made Jack's blood boil. For years, Jack had fought against Victor, determined to keep the Abbott legacy strong, to build a future for his family. And now, in one devastating blow, Diane had managed to undo everything.